by the will of awareness in the form of Ishvara, and for the experience of prajna, the 5 subtle elements, space, air, fire, water, and earth, arose from the part of Prakriti in which tamas predominates. Whoa. Oopsie, oh, that gets a little... What's going on here? By the will of awareness, in the form of Ishvara, because awareness has no will, does it? What's it going to exercise its will on? There's nothing but it. So, So, and for the experience of prajna, for this sleeping entity called the jiva, the 5 subtle elements, in other words, the world, arose from the part of Prakriti. We said Prakriti is just this substance of the creation in which tamas predominates. So the 5 subtle elements came out of the macrocosmic tamas. That's where they came. And why are they there? Because how in the hell are you going to work out your karma if you don't have a body and you don't have air and fire and water and earth and all this stuff here? How are you going to do it? How is this prajna, this jiva guy, and you're already programmed, why? From the previous kalpas. All of you guys are back, all of us, me too, we're all back here, right, from way, long time ago, from the last yugas. We've just been extruded out in this particular creation cycle, and all our karmas are all there subtle. They've been hidden in seeds for 484 billion years, and now they're coming out now, and we've got to work them out now, and we can't work them out unless we got matter. I often say I could do this very well without this body, couldn't you? Lugging this body around doing all this stuff, what a chore, isn't it? My God, you got to do it. You got to feed it and clean it and poop it and make it move, going here and there. You got to sleep it. You got to do all this stuff, to work out your stuff, to work out your vasanas, your ignorance. So, okay. So what if during creation, God said, "Oh, let's put the jivas there first." And this theory of creation fits in with the evolutionary theory of the scientists. Okay, Bhagavan says, okay, let's put the jivas there first, and then we'll fix up the elements later. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because then we got no way to work out our karma. How are you going to work out your karma unless you got a world in which to work it out? So the world is there first, and then the jivas appear. And that's what the scientists say. There's the big bang, kapoom, out comes all the matter, air, fire, water, earth, ether, they all explode, boom. And then there's all the gases, and I don't know how it works. They got their theories. And then the big soup, the cosmic Precambrian soup, and the gases, and then there's all an inchoate mass of amorphous, blobby stuff. And of course consciousness is there first, because you can't have, boom, you can't have the explosion of the 5 elements, unless you have something from them for them to explode out of. Why the scientists can't get that. If any of you scientists are listening here, I mean, come on to Vedanta, we'll sort you out. Because, there's got to be consciousness first, or how's the elements going to bang? You can't bang unless there's something to bang with. You got to have... I don't know how they think that matter can come out of matter, because matter's inert, it can't bang. You need consciousness to make matter bang, to make it move, to make it change, to make it explode, to make it change. You've got to have consciousness. I don't know how they figure it. I know how they figure it. They're stuck in the senses. And they can't figure out, because their means of knowledge doesn't let them what? understand that awareness is there first. So what they see is they looking at it from the body level, and they see, well, all this material was here, and then one day life appeared. The first little ear stuck itself out of the cosmic soup and started hearing the sounds. Sounds are a property of space. Remember it said earlier here? Told you what the perceptions were. What were they? Sound. Oh yeah. Sound, sight, taste, touch, and smell. Those 5 experiences that we have, those 5 sensations, come from the 5 elements. So space was the first element. Boom, out it comes. Because you've got to have something for the world to explode into. So space comes out first, and it starts vibrating. And the property, because there's a awareness and sound, we have duality now, there's a possibility for a vibration to occur, for something to happen. And then consciousness, after billions of years, right, evolves the first ear. The first ear, the cosmic ear, arises, and consciousness can experience itself as sound at this point. And then out of the space, what comes the air element, and then it divides, then that makes the fire, and then out of the air element, what comes? The skin evolves. And then then this divides, and it becomes this, and combines with a portion of this, and it becomes this, and then what? The eyes evolve, light, heat. Heat causes light, then it's possible for consciousness to see things. Consciousness can see things in the material world. Then out of that comes the water element, and then the earth element, finally the gross element, the smell. These other senses evolve. And then what do you got? Right? The mind comes in, integrates these 5 senses here, and lo and behold, a jiva appears. It didn't look exactly like us. We're the roof and crown of things, according to the poet, right? Shakespeare calls it. Man's the roof and crown of things. He hath dominion over fish and fowl, it says in the Bible. Right? Because we're more complex. But basically the first person was just a simple 5 senses with a reflected awareness, a subtle body, a little ticker, a little thinker. He could think a little bit. That's how it came about. So we need, we got it. So the first thing comes out is what? Matter. And then what? Reflected awareness, or the subtle body, comes. We're going to see. From the sattvic part of each of Prakriti's 5 subtle elements arose in turn 5 sense organs. So for these things here, these senses here are the way in which we know these elements. And where did these senses come from? From the sattvic portion. The tamasic portion of the creation provided the matter, but the knowledge of the matter comes from the sattvic portion. It's logical. It's totally logical. It's totally logical. Now, getting more complex. From a combination of all the sattvic portions of the 5 elements, each one of these has got all 5, all 3 elements, all 3 gunas, I'm sorry. From a combination of all the sattvic portions of the 5 elements, so sattvic air, sattvic fire, sattvic earth, water, sattvic earth, and sattvic space, arose the organ of inner experience. Antakarna, that's called the subtle body. We call it the subtle body. Antakarna means the subtle body. So that came next. First tamas, and then, so conscious can know itself, it needs the sattva, so it evolves these, and these things are predominantly sattvic. That's why they're called jnana indriyas. Jnana indriyas means organs, and jnana means knowledge. They're knowledge gathering or information gathering instruments. The organs themselves are located in the subtle body. The instruments are located in the gross body. The ears don't hear. The organ hears. But the ears channel the sounds into the organ, and the organ is what knows. So the organ's in the subtle body, it's sattvic. The instrument, the ear, is just what? Tamasic. It's just 5 elements. The antakarana functions in 2 ways. It doubts and it determines. Doubting, determining. Doubting, determining. In its doubting function, it's called manas, mind. Its determining and discriminating function is called buddhi, or intellect. Now, why does it doubt? Animals don't doubt. Well, they do, but they don't, really. They don't sit around and thinking, the sun's shining today. What should I do? Do they? They don't. Animals, we do that. Well, it's a nice sunny day. What should I do? Should I go to the beach or should I go to the office? Let's think about that for a while. Huh? The intellect, we'll let the intellect sit there and think about it for a while. So I've got a doubt now. What am I going to do? Go to the beach or go to the office? Well, why do we doubt? Why did consciousness evolve this doubting function? Because everything in Maya is what? Indeterminate in nature. It says back here, it is difficult to say that it is completely known or completely unknown. It's difficult to say that the self is completely known or unknown. What? From this point of view, why? Because everything here is indeterminate. Knowledge and ignorance are sitting side by side here, and it's hard to tell what's going on. Nothing is what it looks like on the surface. You know the snake and the rope story? They tell, how many have heard the snake and the rope story? Everybody. Okay, great. That's easy. When does the snake and the rope story happen? It happens in twilight. Why does it happen in twilight? Because in the light of day you can't make a mistake, can you? You will not mistake a rope for a snake. It's just not going to happen. Because the light is there, you can see. And in the pitch dark, in midnight, at the dead of night, you can't make a mistake either. Why? Because you're not getting any information to make a mistake. So you can't mistake a snake for a rope in that condition either. But in the twilight zone, which is where all the jivas are, it's a twilight zone. There's a remember that music? The Twilight Zone. It was Rod Serling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When was that? 50s?
Later.
60s. 60s, yeah, the Twilight Zone. We're living in the Twilight Zone, guys. You can't tell what's going on because of Maya. Maya's hiding it. It's letting enough light shine through so you can see a little bit, but it's not giving you full power, full illumination. So everything here is like hazy and indistinct and indeterminate. And therefore consciousness said, okay, let's give these poor suckers a break. Let's evolve the mind. Let's doubt.